another episode, Basketball Culture. Tyler and Ebony here again, and today we got a new guest. You want to introduce yourself?
Oh, Dad, you caught me off guard right away. My name is Tracy Williams. I'm a couple of things. I'm the global ambassador for a charity bounce organization here, based out of Sydney, but all over. I'm also a director, one of our directors for Twick Media, a new company that I've been involved with, and Tracy Williams, aka Worldwide Williams.
Okay.
WW dot.
I see you. Okay, well, Tracy, I know you're a competitive guy, so just thought we'd start off with a quick NBA quiz.
Oh,
test some of your knowledge.
Oh my God, you were trying to get me going right quick. Oh, was I supposed to say something like my bio or something?
Nah.
Because I know Jenny got some tapes or something in there. I know she got something for me. But go ahead. Let's do this quiz.
We're gonna start off pretty easy. Just who's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA?
Who's the all-time leading scorer? That would be LeBron James.
Yep. And which team has the most NBA championships?
Right now, that would be Jenny's team, the Boston Celtics, with 18 of them.
Okay. Could have had 19, but lost to my Warriors.
Yeah, true that.
And history question: Who is credited as creating or discovering basketball, the sport of basketball?
Well, Dr. James Naismith is supposed to be the creator of it, and Okay. But I have been down in Mexico, and the Mayans have a game they've been doing for like 3,000 years that kind of looks like basketball. Like I said, when I was down there with the Globetrotters, they was trying to tell us that the Mayans, the Aztecs, they did it. But as far as what we know with how far as Siri knows, Dr. James Naismith.
Okay. And which team holds the record for most consecutive wins, like the longest win streak?
Well, the Golden State Warriors. I would say that, and you know what? This is something you probably didn't know. The Golden State Warriors used to be the Philadelphia Warriors. And Wilt Chamberlain used to play for them then. And they had the record for a long time for the most wins. Like, I think it was 60-something wins that they had back then. It was less games. But the team was sold, and they ended up out in the Bay Area in California. And it's kind of like, fitting that now they have the old record and they got the new record too for most wins. So am I right? So I'm one on it.
It would be fitting if they did have the record. However, the Lakers actually have the record. Lakers with 33.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Golden
but I'm off the Lakers now. That used to be my team.
Oh,
but I got off the Lakers.
Oh, okay.
I knew they had won 30-something games in a row. I remember, because it was not even that long ago. What was it? Probably about 6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, pretty recent, about 50 years ago, yeah.
50?
Yeah, 1970, 1977, 74.
Wilt was on that team. Jerry West was on that team. If it was 74. Yeah. I know that whole starting lineup.
Okay.
on that team. Yeah, Jerry West, Walt Hazzard. Yeah, all of them guys, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Hap Harrison. That was a squad. That was a squad they had back there. Gail Goodrich out of UCLA was running that two-guard spot. Yeah. Don't mess with me. Don't play with me, yo. I'm on this basketball thing. Okay. That's my thing.
And now, just to end it off, just got a couple nicknames, and if you can tell me the player. Start off pretty easy. We have The Truth.
Oh, that's Paul Pierce.
Yep. Then we go The Big Ticket.
Oh, that's KG.
Yep.
Why you all these Celtic players?
Then we'll go to Iceman.
Oh, my God. Eastern Michigan's finest, George the Iceman Gervin.
Okay. And then, you got any nicknames you want to say?
Me? Well, he's gonna know that one. So,
What
is there even a point to asking it?
Probably not.
Who? What?
Black Cat.
Oh man, Black Jesus. Yo, Ed Jordan. Yeah. I already got that one.
And that's probably it.
So I missed one.
Yeah, pretty
The
good.
Laker one. I'm all right with that because, like I said, I'm boycotting the Lakers. This year, I'm boycotting the Lakers. So I'm all right.
What caused this boycott of the Lakers?
Oh, you know, man, J.J. Redick as the coach. Man, look, if I knew all I had to do was a podcast with LeBron James, yo, y'all wouldn't have been able to get me for this one tonight. To become the head coach of the Lakers, I could be the head coach of the Lakers. Yo, man, I'd have sat down and kissed his behind too for about an hour, 30 minutes on the podcast. Tell him how great he is. I didn't know that was the only prerequisite you needed to coach the Lakers.
I mean, they're 2-0 right now, you know? So they're going.
Yeah, just 80 more to go, though. Yeah, there's a bunch of teams that's got 2 wins right now. They won't even be around come May. But, yeah, you know, and the Bronny James thing. And don't even get me started with that. I just feel so verklipped about that. I don't even know what to feel about that. Like, I'm trying not even to watch it at all. But, you know, friends of mine in America and stuff, they like call me, say, man, yo, your boy, he had 17 the other night. Bronny on. I said, yeah, but they lost by 60. I mean, they could have pulled people out the seats and gave them a jersey. And in a game you get blown out by 60. That's a trivia question. When did the Lakers ever lost by 60? That one right there, I'm like, oh my God. Tell you what, your Golden State Warriors.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Yeah, ran them out of there. Good. I was happy. I was a Warrior fan that night. Yeah.
All right, get back on track a bit. So, obviously, our podcast is called Basketball Culture.
Yep.
So, we want to ask you, what does basketball culture mean to you? What's your definition of basketball culture? That's
good. It's a great question, Ebony. I mean, I was actually thinking about that today. You know, I've always looked at basketball as a conduit for life. You know, I always thought that everything that you need to know in life, you can learn in basketball. And that was long before Australia and Charity Bounce. I just thought that I've seen people who lacked direction, who lacked a lot of things, but when they got involved with the game, you know, got involved with that culture, you know, it really, really helped them. But the culture is bigger than that too, because, you know, the way, you know, in America, we used to always say stuff like entertainers or rappers want to be basketball players and basketball players want to be rappers. And if you look over the history with Dame Lillard's got an album, AI had an album. So the culture has been like a cross section. You know, the basketball culture has permeated into every aspect of life, I think. It definitely in America. You know, if you're looking at who are the most famous people in America, I would guarantee you that most of them are basketball players. You know, the culture is so strong. Here's one. I got a question. Let me put it in the question. Who had the highest selling signature shoe in the world this past year?
I'd assume it would be MJ, but...
Yeah. And Michael Jordan hadn't played in almost 30 years. He's gone, ain't even been on the court. But he's a part of the basketball culture, but he's a subculture that's gone across the world. All of the signature shoes combined. I'm counting the Messi's. I'm counting all sports. All signature shoes combined, I think went for didn't come to what Michael's was. It was like 300, you know, 400 or 500 million. he did $7 billion this year
Damn.
in Jordan brand shoes. It ain't even close. And he gets 10% into perpetuity. That means like forever. And for that, so he gets a $700 million check just this year for that shoe, and he don't play. And every one of these other guys that you out here got signature shoes, male and females, any sport in the world. That's how powerful basketball culture is. You got girls out there don't even think they cute till they got a pair of Jordans on. You know, that culture is so strong, and I just think, you know, Black Cat, Michael, when you hear somebody say he's the Michael Jordan of foot surgery, well, you don't think he the worst foot surgeon in the world. You think he the best foot surgeon in the world. Or she's the Michael Jordan, the podcast host. Well, they thinking you must be the best. So when you get to a point where your name is an adjective that describes greatness, and your sport and the sport that you participated in, you know, it epitomizes greatness. I mean, when you look at Olympic sports, I mean, what's bigger in the Olympics than basketball? I mean, what's bigger? I mean, they do every kind of sport in the Olympics, but basketball culture, you know, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say it, you know, African Americans promoted that like that. See, we kind of took that thing, you know how we do. We get it, and then we just blow it up. We just blow that culture up in all kind of ways, the way we dress and when we come to the games, the way we look when we play in the games. And that culture has permeated everything around the world. I mean, I don't care what you're doing, politics or whatever. Everybody knows. You know, you could see traces of basketball culture in every aspect of life. You know, I was watching something the other day when that big hurricane hit the Philippines and killed like 6,000 people. And it was saying that the sport of basketball brought that whole country back because of the love of the game. So basketball culture, wow. Man, we could go on forever about basketball culture, man. It's some monster out here, yo. It's incredible.
I love that. Well, we also asked you to bring something special to you, a jersey and an item. So we'd like you to bring that out to us, show everyone what you brought, and explain what it means to you.
Well, this jersey means a few things. The first thing it means that I've gotten fat over the years. Because I can't even believe right now that I used to fit in this jersey, and you know, and it was like, you know, just being a part of the Harlem Globetrotters. You know, when I was a little kid, the first time I saw a Globetrotter game, it was the cartoon. It was a Globetrotters cartoon. And I remember just loving watching it on Saturdays in America. The Globetrotters cartoon would come on. And, man, I would watch it every day. And my mother, for Christmas one year, she got me some Globetrotter bed sheets. So the pillowcase had the picture of that bus on there and the dog that was on there and the grandmother that was on there. I don't know. I'm dating myself right now. Probably Google it. The Globetrotter basketball cartoon. So every night I would just, it was, you know, I would think about it. I said, man, these guys so famous. They got their own cartoon. And I remember used to asking my dad, you know, what he knew about the Globetrotters. And he was like, well, you know, because of his age, he remembered when the NBA was segregated and they didn't let African-American players play in the league. And so all of the great basketball players that were African-American played for the Harlem Globetrotters. And like if you ever Google Wilt Chamberlain, if you Google him 10 times, 9 times, he'll come up in a picture with a Globetrotter, you know, with his uniform on. He'll show up on whatever search engine that you got. Because that's what he played with the Globetrotters, you know, first. And then he went to the NBA. And the first it's more trivia, first African American player to play in the NBA was Nat Sweetwater Clifton, who was a Harlem Globetrotter. And about 14 years ago, I got a letter that the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame was enshrining the Globetrotters team. We're one of only 2 teams that's ever been enshrined as a team in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Most of it's individuals. So I remember when we got the letter, it was like this gold leaf letter thing. And I was like, so that means if they put the whole team in there, they can't just put the one team in there. They got to put everybody in there. So about 2 years later, I get a chance to go to Springfield, Massachusetts, which is the home of the Hall of Fame. And I remember coming in the door, and I told this lady, I said, yo, where's the Globetrotters enshrinement at? And she said, it's upstairs to the right. I still remember it. And I remember going up there, and they got all of the mannequins and stuff for the Globetrotter players. And they had the Globetrotter pillowcase from the cartoon that I used to go to sleep on. It was up on the wall. And then they had, they had a screen in the middle of the exhibit for the Globetrotters there. And it had a list of our all-time roster. So I sat there till it got to the W's. And it's just scrolling up and scrolling up. And then I called like everybody I knew and just said, yo, I'm in the Hall of Fame, dog. Like, I'm in the Hall of Fame today, but I'm going to come home tomorrow, but I'm still in the Hall of Fame. So I'm in there. So this jersey, it reminds me, it lets me know, that to be able to be a part of basketball history, because that's what the Hall of Fame represents, the best of the best in the history of that game. So the jersey just means it's a lot of different things. And my dad, who was a basketball player, his favorite team always was the Harlem Globetrotters. So for him to come to the first game when he got a chance to see me play and be out there, that was big, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't grow up thinking I wanted to be a Harlem Globetrotter. I didn't. But I found out since then I could have done a lot worse. So it means a lot to me on a lot of different levels, and always will, for me, because of those people and stuff that I mentioned. And it took me around the world. I mean, it gave me a platform. Like, I didn't even know all of that stuff when I was actually playing. But now, as I look back on it, it just gets bigger. The platform gets bigger. Because I know people, as soon as you say Harlem Globetrotters, I don't care, wherever we went at in the world, man, we in Mexico. Los Charamondos de Harlem. You hear every language, everywhere we go, you hear that. They hear Sweet Georgia Brown, the song, our theme song. People automatically, you see people just light up. So, just to be a part, just a small part of that tradition, and stuff, man, yeah, it's on the list. So yeah, this jersey, I want to get it mounted and stuff, because I had a few of them, but family members and stuff started, they got missing. So I've been trying to hold on. This is the last one I got, so I've been holding on to that. So I would have to definitely say that that's like the biggest. Yeah, that's a big thing for me.
I love that. That's beautiful. Did you bring anything else, or is that all you brought today?
Well, I thought about that when Jenny said that to me. What else could I have brought? That Ebony, I know me and you, we've met through basketball and stuff. I think this life that basketball has given me, that's always special. Because if I didn't play basketball, I don't think, well, I know a bunch of this stuff would have never. So I would say the special thing, I carry it around with me every time I show up, every time where I'm at. You know, it's a mindset. Because again, I always tell people when I was little, I used to come up to people and say, what do you see when you look into this ball? And they would say everything from nothing to somebody that don't want to work or something like that, And I would just say, hey, I see the world in this ball. This ball is going to take me around the world. And I remember my mother looking at me, closing her eyes and saying, hey, stop living in a fantasy world. So about a month ago, my mother was here. And when she landed, and I said, hey, yo, you still living in this basketball world. Basketball got me here, and now it's got you here too. So I know it's probably not what y'all were thinking, but I'm telling you, this life, this consciousness, this vision that I have in me, basketball, which is special, for me was the first thing that I ever gave myself to, and it gave me something back. That, I always tell people, like, I would just go and be at the gym or out to the outside court all day long. Like, that was easy for me. It's an escape. It took me away from a whole lot of stuff that wasn't going right in the world. But as soon as I'm on the court, everything good. Everything is all right. It changed my mindset. So this mindset, Ebony, that I got, that's special. I don't ever want to lose it, because I feel like if I lose it, I'm going to fall into a dark place. But that mindset, it helped me. It brought a whole lot of stuff together for me, in my life, a lot of questions that I had. And it seemed like it all come together on the court. It all came together on the court. Because on the court, man, I was invincible. You couldn't touch me, yo. I was fearless. I would fight Mike Tyson on the court, anything. It was like a super alter ego, whatever that came out of, that was always on the inside, but I just never could get it out. So I would say, and I take that everywhere I go. And, that's me till I die. That's what I take around.
Well, that's perfect actually for today, I feel like a lot of people know this motivational speaker, all these things that you talk about. But today we really want to get into it and get nice and deep and personal with you. So that's a brilliant.
I figured you would.
Yeah, that's a brilliant start,
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you're comfortable sharing all those deep and personal. Beautiful. Is there an age that you remember, like, of before basketball, like before you started watching and like even experienced it? Do you remember a time before that, or do you just always remember, like, always your life started with basketball?
No. Basketball didn't really become a big part of my life until I was around about 14. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and then when you're from New York, New York is a state of mind of itself. It's just, even in America, there's the other 50 states, and then it's New York City. It's they wrote songs about it. It's a New York state of mind, because it is a different type of mindset, and it's because that culture. So I tell people now, the first feeling that I ever remember having as a human being in the world was fear. I just remember being scared. I remember just, everybody's always saying, yo, watch out, be careful. Something's gonna happen, my grandmother, and them was always like, hey, I ain't gonna always be with you. So it was like this fear. So yeah, to be honest with you, before that, I just remember just always being scared. Like I ain't even really understood as a little kid what I was really scared of. I would have to ask my grandmother. Okay, but she just would tell me, are you watching what's going on? Are you paying attention? And it was just always like, so, it worked against me then, but it works for me now. Back then, I was just kind of like this fear about almost everything. And I ain't really have it for no reason. I didn't even really have no reason to be scared some of the times. But that was the first thing that I remember as a person in this world was, you know, and I thought about that, Ebony. I was in New York standing across the street from the hospital where I was born. And I hadn't been to the hospital, well, probably since then. And that's so it's about 60 years. And just standing there and just looking at it and thinking, you know, I still remember coming to the grocery store, walking up Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. Now it's the Barclays Center and all this stuff. It used to be all of this stuff because they've changed everything. And I reflected on how that was back then because you do tend to forget it. And because other things are happening in your life. So I just remembered that. I remember, you know, my parents got divorced when I was 8. And you know, I remember some of that. Like, I don't remember that being bad. I think the thing was, like, I remember being scared almost all the time up to that time. And I don't know why I stopped kind of being scared after that happened. Because you probably would think some psychiatrist or whatever would say that should have made me worse or whatever. I don't know. But I started thinking, like, I went from being scared, this is honest God truth, to thinking, yeah, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be great. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to be great at. I just started thinking like that fear left, and then the dominant thing in my mind was, what am I going to be great at? I don't know. Right then I looked and I saw Michael Jackson, so I said, I'm going to sing. I'm going to be like Michael Jackson and stuff. So, you know, I was trying to get my afro out and all this other stuff. So I was just like, yo, I'm going to be Michael Jackson, man. And, you know, back then I could hit them high notes like Michael and stuff. So I was trying to do that for a while. And then after a while, you know, it was some other people that could dance better than I could. So I kind of like that went away from me. Then I said I want to be a football player, NFL football player. So I was really committed to that. And I really think I could have been like NFL level football player, but I didn't want to get hit. See, I was scared, and I was really good at tight end. I was a good tight end in my 9th grade, my freshman year in high school and stuff. But I was thinking up to then that I was going to be a football player, and after my parents got a divorce, my mom moved a lot, so I was going to a lot of different schools and stuff. And some days that was like terrible, that was bad, and then sometimes it was good. And I say that because, you know, all of that was shaping me. That was my formative years. So I was being shaped by all of these experiences that I was having. And also I think that's the first time I ever felt God around me, like protecting me about stuff. You know, and I ain't understand none of that, like nowhere like I do now. But it was just like, I was thinking about, you know, people start shooting and stuff or whatever. And you know what, you know, bullets though, as we say in America, don't know nobody. You just thinking so much bad stuff could happen to you. But I always kind of knew it probably wasn't going to happen to me because I was going to be great and still didn't know. But it wasn't until probably about year 9 in high school, one of my friends named Curtis Strutt, for my birthday, gave me a poster of George the Iceman Gervin sitting on blocks of ice, palming 2 frozen basketballs. And George Gervin was really skinny then, and I was really skinny back then. And I said, I'm going to be the Iceman. That's what I'm going to be. Cool as ice and twice as nice. I said, I'm going to be the Iceman. Because he was just there when I finally got a chance, but a year or so later, to actually see him play, I was like, well, I don't play as good as he do, but I just like that coolness that he had. So he was when it's funny that y'all asked that question. You know, he was one of them the names, because he was the one. Like it's certain guys that grew up with me in school. They still call me Ice. They'll come up and they say, "Yo, Ice, what's up, baby?" And you know, and it's only like just people that grew up with me in that area. Now I never had an Iceman game, Tyler. I ain't never had that type of game, but I just kept telling people, "Call me Iceman." Call me. So I was just saying it all the time, saying it. And so I wore 44 like he wore and everything till I got to college. But yeah, I just remember Ebony, like I said, growing up, 6 sisters, 1 brother, just moving a lot, being exposed to a bunch of stuff, some bad stuff, a lot of good stuff. And I just felt like God kind of sprinkled people over to my life, some good people in my life, just sprinkled them. And so at critical moments, I remember wanting to be a criminal and just saying, "Yeah, I'm going to be a criminal. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a gangster. I'm going to do that." Because the kind of environment that was around me, that would seem like the thing to do. And but like I said, God sprinkling. He sprinkled somebody there, say, "Hey, I think you could be good at this. I think you could do that." And it kind of got my attention. And you know, I was lazy too. So even stuff that I kind of liked, I didn't kind of do it for long, because once it got hard, I quit. But basketball was the thing. You know, my mother always said, "You lazy." And I would say, "She don't know what she's talking about. I just don't want to do what you telling me to do." At least that's what I was thinking in my head. I didn't say it out loud. I said, "I ain't thinking about what you saying." And then when I got to basketball and I realized this is what I want to do, I started getting lazy. And I said, "She right. I'm lazy." So, yeah, that's when that give back started. I would stay out on the court, or I would stay at the gym no matter what, even when I wanted to quit. And that's when the metamorphosis started. That's when the things started changing. And I started seeing, I put out this effort and it's reciprocated back to me. And once I got a hit of that, that was a wrap. It was a wrap. Because then everything kind of lined up for me. Because I knew I was going to be great, but I didn't know what it was going to be. And so about 14, it was around about 14, it was, like I said, that same guy named Curtis Strutt, he said, "Yo, man, you could really be good if you just stop playing around." And I didn't even agree with him on that either. But I was just like, maybe that's right. But I hated losing. Yeah, you hate losing, but you ain't want to do the stuff you had to do to win. But you hate losing, but you ain't want to do that stuff. That's how I was. I was like, man, I hate losing, but I don't want to do the stuff. But again, them sprinkled people, and you know, and I had a guidance counselor. I always tell my business partner I read this. I said, "Man, God done sprinkled some white women over my life in there. That's always kind of been there right as a turning point in my life." Because like I tell you, I was going through that little drug dealer thing. I said, but a good thing that people in my family, they were just like, "Nah, dog, that ain't for you." So that kept me out of it. But during that time, I had a guidance counselor that came to me and said, "I think you're special. I think you're different from most people. I think you're really, really special." And, and I was like, man, these white people are always trying to get up in the brother head, man. Always trying to tell you something. They always got a reason for how to do your life. And here was this woman, and she could see so much in me, but I couldn't see none of that. And like I said, I'm like 14, 15 or whatever. And she's like, and she's like, "Let's talk about your future." And I said, "All right." So my first thought was, I'm going to use her. I'm going to use her to get out of class. Like, I don't want to talk to her about my future. And I did do that for like the first year. I would just use her to do stuff, lie to her and stuff. And but she kept coming at me like a creditor, yo. This chick would not let me go. And you know, and I'm sitting there, she said, meet me after school. I'm going to help tutor you for your chemistry class. I said, okay. Man, I'm out of there. I'm out the back door of the school, dog. I'm gone. Yo, next day she come in, they said, I was waiting on you, Tracy. Always smiling, like she never got mad. If she did, she'd just be smiling. And I'd be sitting up there. Then I thought she was like crazy or something. I said, yo, why is she on me like this? Something wrong with her. And yo, like I said, I always tell people like a creditor, man. She was just keep coming. She kept coming. And then, you know, I was making D's and F's at school too, so I'm always, I'm suspended or something. It's something going on. And, you know, I'm keeping, you know, man, I'm up smoking weed every day, all kind. Yeah, I'm just doing stuff, man. I'm in them streets. And she would always say, oh, you special. You could do it. You could really be something. And so, yeah, she was kind of changed it, stuff. And when I think about it, when my mom and dad got a divorce, I was about 8 or something, 9. So I was been about 3rd grade. White lady named Diane Willis. She just kind of took me under her wing. She was my 3rd grade math teacher. And I think she helped that transition for me. Because because they were sending me to counselors and stuff. And I was just bad. I ain't had nothing to do. I was going to be bad whether they stayed together or not. I was just doing stuff. But it was just that thing, you know. God just had me in a place where I could never go too far. I wanted to go far. I wanted to go too far. But it was always these roadblocks, man, that would just pop up and make me feel like, okay, maybe they right. Maybe I don't be a gangster. Maybe I don't just shoot somebody in broad daylight and don't run. You know, maybe that ain't that route for me. So, and like I said, every now and then when I felt like I was just getting ready to get off the rails, you know, God would have somebody that would come and just say, hey, you can do something better with your life. You know, you just got to put the effort in it and to do it. And like I said, I stand on the shoulders of them people. Because sometimes I still think I just wanted to BS around too. I didn't even, you can't cuss in here, can you? But I was like, yo, I think about it. I said, man, it was just times I just want to go like, nah, man, I just want to be like everybody else. But then somebody would come along and say, yo, you ain't like everybody else. You different. And it was just, I guess, the right time. It was the right moments. Those people showed up. So I don't know who watching this or whatever and stuff. I know it's at least one person, or I wouldn't even be in here right now doing this, that's kind of dealing with that same type of stuff, or they got the similarities in their story right now. You know, you got a lot of people that's taking you to the left, and it's just at rare times you got some people that's taking you to the right. And it's going to be more the ones to the left, but preferably you're going to get with the ones that's taking you to the right. And again, like I said, man, she was like, come to my house, pick me up. Because like she know I'm lying. She would know I'd be lying. And she would just like come to my house. I'm like, yo, this white chick up in my crib. I'm looking out the window. Yo, now I'm thinking like, yo, everybody in the neighborhood saying, yo, what's up with you and the white chick? And it was just crazy stuff. And I think about it now, how crazy I was. Because I was like going, yo, I'm trying to just fight against this. If she don't come around, you don't know me. Trust me. I'm never this far away from where I started. If she don't come when she did and do the stuff, get through my lying, get through my ducking her, getting through me being less than what she was saying I was, and just waiting me out. Yo, man, let me tell you something. I know I ain't here. Yeah, unless this be one of them prison podcasts. y'all came to the penitentiary, and I got pulled out of the lockup Cause yeah, it was gonna be crazy. It was never gonna turn out the way it did. And so yeah, when I tell my story, it's these people that I can never, like all the good stuff about me, cause there's some bad stuff too about me, but all the good stuff, it was those people, man. They brought it out of me. They looked beyond my faults and saw my needs. I don't know how they saw it, but yeah, cause like every kid, especially in America, African American kid, the newspaper already said by 25 I'm either be dead or incarcerated or been through both. That's what the USA Today said about us. But thank God I've never been to prison. I've spoke at a bunch of prisons, and I told them that story. But I've never been locked up, and I'm very much alive today.
That's
You
amazing.
talk about getting you these long answers. But anyway,
Just
what else?
in relation to that, how did you kind of use your life and like your experiences as motivation, like to pursue basketball? And when did you, like, was it from the start when you first started playing, you realized you could actually make a career out of it, or was there a certain moment where it's like, this is it, I'm gonna stop being lazy and I'm gonna pursue this?
Well, it was some events happened. Like at 17, I was a dad. I had my oldest daughter, Tracina. Now in 1982, that's scandal. That was like scandal, and it was during the time where I was like a top player in the nation and all that. So it was like super scandal. So people was like I mean, now nobody even takes a second thought about that. But back then, I remember when I first got to James Madison University, I would hear people whispering, "Hey, that's him. He's got a baby. He's got a baby." He's like, I'm a 17-year-old kid. I was at our North Carolina State McDonald's All-Star game up in Greensboro. And I remember the news reporter saying, "Yeah, he's got a kid. He's the one with the kid on the team." So it was just like, man, it was just crazy. But even then though, when they were saying all of that stuff, it never really, really bothered me. It just kind of I probably should have, but it didn't. It was just, it helped me in my basketball because now I gotta get it now. Like when everybody else is thinking about going to this frat party over at Theta Chi or something, I'm thinking about how can I, with my scholarship, figure out a way to buy a case of Similac with iron, or get some Depends Huggy diapers and stuff. When kids my age wasn't even thinking about that kind of stuff. So it gave me a sense of urgency, man. It pushed me, and to just go and just say, hey, you know what? I really can't be messing around. I really need to be going to the gym, getting that work in, because now I got this little girl who's dependent on me. And, people were telling me, well, man, you done committed basketball suicide, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. You should have told her to get an abortion and all this other stuff. It was like all over town with the city I lived in. It was just all this little chatter stuff. But to be honest with you, it was for me, it was like, okay, it's all good. It's all working for me. Like in my brain, it wasn't like holding me. It was pushing me. It was like, yo, you ain't got time to be sitting around, messing around with like everybody else your age and stuff. You got to go out here and do what you got to do. And so that responsibility, and that's what I called it. Other people call it a tragedy. It was a weight. It was going to hold you down. It was going to, people used to ask me, man, they said, what they say to me, man, I would be rich if I didn't have no children. And I would always say back to them, I'm rich because I got them. They make me rich, and again, it didn't hit my brain like I know it hit some guy's brain or some people's brain. to me, it was like, oh, okay, this is good. Because you know that lazy monster, that man still tries to come up. But then I look and I said, nah, man, I can't lay down. I got to get down. That's what I got to do. So that propelled me, what people thought should have buried me, just planted me. It just planted me. And then, but it also taught me, later in my life, when I decided, hey, what do I want my life to be about, a legacy about my life? So I wanted to just try to help other people get to where they want to go. This lady asked me one time, she said, you're always talking about people getting to their destiny and doing all of this stuff. What's your destiny? I said, well, my destiny is to help you get to yours. That's what my destiny is. And I learned that from the lady I told you about, Miss Bailey. Because when I graduated from high school, I thought, man, at first I didn't know if I was going to graduate. I didn't even know if I wanted to graduate. But, because it was like the summer right before I went to college when I found out I was going to be a dad. So I graduated high school, I still didn't know. So I was like, when I was in high school, I was like, but she had just stirred up something in me. And I just remember, and I always tell this story, I just remember sitting there with all of this doubt and stuff, man, Tyler just saying, man, I don't even know if I even want to graduate. I don't even know if I even want to do none of this stuff. She came by my junior year. I could tell she changed me. She's changing me now. I'm making A's and B's where I used to make F's and D's. So she's changing me. She's getting to me. Now, them first 2 years had to be hell for her because I know I was trying to, she was looking. She said she look at me and see heaven, but I was giving her hell. Just every time, like any little thing, little stuff she tell me to do, I wouldn't even do it. Just I don't even know. Just because she told me to turn, she said walk right, I walk left. So I'm like, so all of this stuff helps me when I'm dealing with other people, especially young people, and saying, yeah, yo, all of that stuff, dude. I done been through all of that stuff. Most of that stuff, I done been through all of that. I done had all of that crazy stuff going on. I said, yo, but you still can be who you supposed to be. Who are you supposed to be? I ain't asking you what they said you were going to be. I'm asking you what you said you were going to be. And what she did was get me to the place that in a world full of people that's scared to do stuff, scared to become, she taught me to be scared not to become. They scared to do it. She taught me how to be scared not to do it. Like, don't die. Don't breathe your last breath and be sitting there. And then when you can see them demons all around your deathbed, and they say, oh, and then you see the dreams that's going to have to die with you and all this stuff. And they say, oh, man, you never, ever, 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 ever. I'd rather relive the rest of my life failing at everything I do. I'm telling you, than to be that guy that said, yo, I didn't try it. I know I wasn't good at it. You know why? Because I tried it. I know it wasn't that my lane. Why? Because I went down that road. I know it. I know it. I know it. And that was the thing that she put in me and told me. She said, she would always go like, but what if it do work? Because, we grow up thinking, well, what if I spend all this time, wasting all this time doing all this stuff, and then it don't work? She would go like, she smiled with them glasses on. She go, but what if it do work? And I'm going like, yo, man, this chick is crazy, yo. And then it's graduation. I got like about, I don't know how many Division I offers, man. I got like all kinds of stuff. Man, I can't even go home. My phone ringing off the hook. My dad is like, yo, man, these coaches is calling you. It's bananas. It's crazy. Everywhere I'm going at, man, every time the news come on, man, I'm on TV. It's crazy for me. And just think, I was a few years back, yo, ain't none of this stuff gonna happen for me. But she kept saying, but what if it do? And I'm sitting there, and they said, Tracy Williams, full grant and aid to James Madison University. And I went to JMU because a few months earlier, They played North Carolina when Jordan hit the shot to win the national championship, and they played them in the NCAA tournament. And they almost lost to them. JMU lost by 1 point. And when they went on to win the national championship, James Worthy, who was the best player on the team, well, Michael hit the shot, but they asked him, they said, man, this Georgetown team led by John Thompson got to be the toughest team y'all played against. And he said, yeah, other than James Madison, this was about the toughest game I ever had. Now, they were coming to my practices and stuff, but I wasn't even really going to go there. And the only other thing, the coach was the only coach that told me when he came to see me, he said, I don't know if he's going to be able to play for us. Like everybody else told me I was going to start. So that kind of didn't sit right with me. And I was like looking at the program and seeing who they got in my position. I'm like, yo, I'm going to kill this dude. Yo, I can't play there. So I'm looking at the videos of the tournament, and I'm going like, this guy, I ain't going to say his name, Darryl Jackson. I'm like, Darryl Jackson? It can stay in front of me? I'm like, yo, let me go down there to see what's up with that. And so I end up going there. And I'm sitting there at my high school graduation, and they call my name out. I get up, I get my diploma, walk across the stage. All of my sisters are sitting there taking pictures and stuff. And they say, stay still. So we get this picture of you walking down there. My mother's over there going, thank you, Jesus. I prayed to see this boy graduate from high school. I did not think I didn't know. I'm walking back to my seat, but I ain't looking for my seat. I'm looking for this white chick. And I'm thinking, yo, this is crazy. All of this stuff is going to happen just like we dreamed it. And the only person I wanted to share that with right there was her. And I couldn't see her, but finally, like I'm looking at Jenny there, I finally like see her. And the gym we had graduation, the gym is like 2,000 people in there or something. And she sees me, I guess she see me. And then I didn't want to see her, because as soon as I saw her, yo, I started crying, like terrible cry, like ugly cry. Now everybody looking at me. Yo, and I'm the coolest dude at the school. Y'all losing mad cool boys right there. And everybody's like looking, I'm like looking at them, like, look at the stage, man, there's somebody else graduate. So she meets me kind of like right there in front of the people on the side. And I just remember hurrying up and grabbing her, because I didn't want people to see my face and everything. And I'm just like, yo, I owe you everything. I wasn't going to be nothing, man. I wasn't going to be nothing. I said, I don't even know what, I don't even know how to repay you. She kept saying, you don't owe me anything. I said, yo, you don't know. You don't know. I was going to be a monster. You don't know. If you don't not give up on me, if you gave up on me, yo, I was going to be a monster. I knew I was going to be famous, but I was going to be infamous. I was going to be one of them. But I was like, yo, how? I said, I don't even know how you did this. I don't know. She said, you did it. You don't owe me nothing. You don't owe me nothing. And I'll never forget this. She said, I kept saying, yes, I do, yes, I do. And I'm still holding on to her. Just imagine everybody's still looking. And she goes, now people that's graduated after me, they're walking around me. And I'm going, and she said, listen, if you owe me something, she said, I want you to pay it forward. And this was before the movie. She said, I want you to do for somebody else what you think I did for you. And I've always told people, I said, look, that's been 42 years, maybe 44 years ago that happened. And I just probably made it a small installment on, because like I told her, I wasn't going to be nothing, man. Like I wasn't going to be nothing good. It was not, and nothing good was going to come out of it. And just, so one thing I do know, that everybody that's sitting in here right now, they had somebody that they could think of that was that person for them. It was somebody. Because you get at least one. You get at least one. And that's why I always say, you don't need but one person to believe in you. You don't need but one. You don't need but one. People think, oh, I need all this stuff. And not. No. Nah. When I was a little kid, it was my grandfather. Later, it's Myra Bailey, my guidance counselor, the lady I'm talking about. She's like, hey, I believe in you. Everybody else, I'm living in a fantasy world. Be realistic. This is not going to happen for you. It's never going to be, this is, you better go ahead and join the military. Ain't nothing wrong with the military. I'm just saying. Because they take everybody. That's why they would say, because they'll take anybody in the military. I was like, no. I said, no. I'm doing this. I still, God rest her soul, my grandma Rosie. She would sit there, boy, I said, Grandma, I'm going to school. I'm going to get a scholarship. Your dad ain't got no money to pay for that. I said, she ain't going to have to pay for it. They're going to pay me. She was like, she couldn't get that around her head. She said, you better not go down there because them people your dad ain't got no money for that. I said, Grandma, I'm telling you. She said, all right. She said, you going to get yourself out there out on the limb. I said, well, Grandma, ain't that where all the fruit is? Out there on the limb. She said, oh, okay. You a big shot. So you're a smart mouth. I said, Grandma, but if I'm a shoot, why don't I shoot big? I'm telling you, one or two things are going to happen to me this last part of my life. I'm going to be great, or I'm going to be the biggest failure that they ever seen in this country. I condemn that part in the name of Jesus. I'm not going to have that to be the biggest failure. But I just wanted to say that to let you know, failure or the fear of failure will not stop me. It will never stop me. Just know I'm a refire on that. All that failure does is just make me just go harder. When they tell me no, that makes me go harder. So I like being in situations when the odds is against you and the deck is stacked and they betting against you doing it. When people going for me, I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna be nothing. Like if everybody's cheering for me, I'm thinking Tracy's is great. Like when I'm around people and everybody telling me I'm good or something or whatever, not as much. I used to be real obnoxious about it when I was younger, but I would say something that make somebody mad with me. So they would go against me. Then I know my chances of getting it done gonna be a lot better. But if we like, oh, we believe in you, Tracy. So I'm better with people every other leap year believing in me. Not a whole lot of people at one time. Mm-hmm. When I'm in a game and the crowd is cheering for me, I'll do something or say something to the crowd to make most of them be saying nasty stuff back to me. I wasn't satisfied till them people cussing me out. Now I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play then. Oh, man, long answers. Great questions, though. Great questions. What you got, Ev?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, you talked a bit about your life before basketball and how hard it was.
Yep.
And I was going to ask, did basketball save your life? But then you were talking about this woman. And so my question has now changed. Did she save your life?
You know what? Yes. In a plethora of ways, she did. And she saved it because she saw it. She saw my life the way it was supposed to be. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see that. I couldn't see it. It was just so much other stuff going. It's like you got this thing inside you. Like I'm going like, man, I know I'm supposed to be being more. But I just don't know, And then you constantly got these voices and these messages and these situations telling you, you saying you great, but the bank saying you broke. You saying you're gonna do something that's gonna be significant, and people treat you like you should just go kill yourself or do something. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff, all of this stuff, and you getting more of that stuff than that. You can do it. Come on, let's go, and so yeah. But not just her, though. Working with you kids, each one of y'all saving my life. The same way she did it. Y'all saving my life. Y'all don't know it. If I don't have the stuff that I do, I ain't got no life. I know that. She helped me to understand that. Because, when you young, you just don't really, you don't have the words for it. You don't have the mental tools or whatever to come up with something like that. You just say, I just feel different or whatever. I tell the kids and stuff, in a way, like low-key, I'm jealous of y'all. Because y'all got so much ahead of y'all. Y'all got everything in front. Everything in front. Man, I remember my birthday, when I turned 60, I was like, I ain't do it in front of people, but I kind of just went to the bathroom and sat down a minute. And I said, if it's like they say, I'm on the other side now. It used to be, well, I still got time. I could still go. I could still do this. And I still think I got time. I still think I got 40 years. But then some days, I don't know if I want to live 40 more years. Sometimes I don't. I'm thinking, here's my thing. I don't want to die a day before I supposed to, but I don't think I want to live a day longer. I want to be on time. In 60 years of living. So, and what that does is, like I always tell my business partner, I said, yo, the clock is ticking in my head. I hear it. I hear it a little bit more now. I hear the tick-tock on it. I'm like, yo, let's go. Let's down. We got to go now. I got to do it now. Because you hear it. I don't know, I'm more conscious of it. Maybe it's always been like that. But now I'm like, yo, I want to live my life like it's a to-do list. And I look down on it and I say, I ain't got nothing left to do but die. That's the only box I got left to tick off. I want to live, because I used to live thinking about, what if this don't happen? Then I live thinking about, and at the same time I'm living, I think about all the wrong stuff I've done. I think about all the bad stuff I've done. And I'm thinking like, well, you can't do that. All that stuff is holding you back. I wake up thinking about when I woke up this morning, I always tell people, when I wake up in the morning, God don't show me what's wrong with Tyler. He shows me what's wrong with me. And every morning is something. Every morning is something. So I said, and I always reply back to say, well, God, help me to get it right. In a world full of people who trying to be right, help me get it right. Just help me get it right. I just want to be able to say in the end, when it all do, when the clock do wind out on me, when the buzzer finally ring on me, I want to be able to say, man, I tried to get it right. I tried to do everything that I thought you wanted me to do. I know I let you down a bunch of times. I know some stuff I just knew what I was supposed to do, but I didn't do it. But God forbid I die tonight, man. I had a good life. Tell them jokers don't be crying for me. I had a good run. This thing been good to me. God been good to me. This has been a good run. And it's just been like, because I've learned a lot. Basketball, again, has taught me so much stuff. So when I think about my life, I just think about what the game taught me and continues to teach me. It's just, and like I said, every day, the game teaches me something else. I'm watching y'all play. I'm thinking about, wow, they still got everything in front of them. That inspires me. That lets me hear the clock ticking a whole lot louder and just saying, hey. Because when you see me sometime, Eb, and I'm kind of like upset or aggressive, it's because I'm trying to make sure that everything I need to tell you, I'm done. That it's done. I want to live my life like I'm, I want to learn like I'm gonna live forever, but I want to live like I'm gonna die tonight. I want to be empty when it's over. I don't want to go on the ground where I'm still full. I want my gas light to be on. I want to be on. It's on fumes. I'm out, you know, and yeah. So the game, and you can't tell that story about me without the game, because the coaches I've had, the players I played with when I was coaching, the players that I coached, working with Charity Bounce, working with kids. Because when y'all there with me, I think y'all my children more than your parents' children. I really do. And I don't know no other way to look at it, you know. And if I see y'all getting ready to make the mistakes I made, or the dumb stuff that I would do, you know, so many nights I tell guys, I say, man, I already know how that gonna end, because I already did it. That's the dumb stuff right there. That does not get you to where you say you want to go. And I owe the game that. And I do believe, you know, that God created basketball for me. Not Michael Jordan, all them, they just got in on it. I think he created that vehicle. He created that teacher. Miss Bailey used my desire, my passion to play to teach me. You know, my coaches used it to teach me how to be a man. Like I didn't go to school for somebody teaching me how to be a man. I just wanted to play. And you know, the coaches were saying, yo, I'm gonna try to make a man out of you, son. And I'll be like, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. Just pass me the ball, dog. I don't need all that other stuff. You know, you talk about responsibility and stuff. Just give me the ball and move. And but somehow in all of that, they did. I still hear my coach telling me, responsibility without accountability equals no ability at all. And Tracy Williams, you don't know that now, but one day you will. He said it's the little things. He would always say that intangibles. Didn't know how to spell the word at the time, didn't know what it meant. He would always do his fingers like that. He said it's the little things why you ain't gonna be successful. It's the little things that you just overlook and don't do, and you do it daily. He said, yeah, you come in here, you give us, great, on a good day, you give us 95%, but the 5% is where we lose. And I just go like, wow, man, you know, this white dude, he just keep coming, yo. He just on me. He just on me, yo. He just don't like me, and all that other stuff. So all of that don't like you stuff that I did and stuff, all that stuff cost me, Tyler. All that cost me. Every bit of it. That's why I'm on y'all about it, because I don't want it to cost you. I already know. That's a bitter pill right there. Paying that note, that's a hard bill to pay, yo. Hard bill to pay. It's always asking for more. So that's why I'm always trying to tell y'all as young people and stuff coming up. I'm like, yo, that ain't it. And because I know it. Because that's what I thought. I tried it. Who knows where I'm at if I skip that part. But I didn't. And the fact that I didn't do it, I can trade it in and redeem it when I talk to you. When I'm talking with you, Em, I get a chance to take some wasted time and turn it into some good time. So that's why you see me and you're like, I'm on you. I'm just on you. I'm like, yo, stop playing around, man. Stop effing around. Yo, I'm telling you, it's the clock. We on the clock. I always use that. I said, yo, Kobe woke up at 41. Jenny, he had a whole to-do list that day. I promise you. Time ran out. So with Kobe, all of us that ever played this game at a high level, this game called life. Every now and then, not all the time, we look up at the clock. And you like, yo, man, March the 12th of this year, I looked up at the clock and said, woo, I'm down 10. Yo, it's go time. I got to create some more possessions. I got to go. I felt like I was down 10. I woke up that morning, Jen, I'm down 10. I said, man, I got to go. I got to go. Because I got to win. I got to win. Yo, later for that losing. I asked my wife, I said, I don't know if they'll let you do it at the church, but put a microphone on a buzzer when the game ends. Game over. At least this game is over. Game over. To let the buzzer ring one more time. So that's what I'm doing out here, man. That's what I'm doing tonight. That's what I'm doing every day. I'm trying to make sure I cut off the baseline. I'm trying to make sure I'm talking on defense every time down. I'm trying to make sure I remember what zones we in. We man on makes. We zone on misses. You know, I'm trying to stay below 3 seconds, no more than 3 seconds in my transition to get back from one possessing the ball to guarding the ball. And that clock steady running. It's steady running in my head, you know. And like I said, like I try to teach these kids, I'm like, yo, you got to learn how to read the game, man. You got to read what's going on. Yo, the game has got a feel to it. Yo, sometimes you got to know, like, yeah, I got to turn up. I got to turn up right here. Like, the coach don't have to tell you that. You kind of looking, you see in the situation, yo, momentum done shifted. It's over there on them. So this drive to the hole can't be a layup. Got to bang out on this one. Not because, you know, you for the highlight. It's that you want to uplift, get your guys picked up. You trying to, because again, you the leader. You the one that's you the thermostat. You controlling the temperature. So it's kind of cold, got kind of cold out there. So it's time for me to turn it up. I got to turn that temperature up. So, you know, so my game will show. You'll see it. I'll go harder or I'll be a little extra in what I do. Because, again, the clock is running. The clock is running. And no matter how many, and we only got a certain amount of timeouts. And them timeouts ain't but 60 seconds long. So, you know, well, they got TV timeouts now. See, I shouldn't have used that analogy. What's the question? Oh, my God.
All right, I think, how are we doing for time? Just want to check on that. 1:13. How much do we have, like, more time left, or do we got to wrap up? Yeah, it's time to wrap up. All right. So, okay. Yeah, I like what you were saying about the, you know, time clocks running out.
Yeah.
So we're going to rewind the time real quick, and we want to catch your reaction to something.
Oh, okay. Oh, we playing Old Dominion. That's Mark West there. Play for the Phoenix Suns later. We coming out on the break. That's Derek Steele. He threw that ball to Keith Bradley. Right? No, Dan Rulin. That's our center. My freshman year. That's me on the bottom of the screen. You got to block him out, yo. You got to block that number 30 out. You got to put a body on me right there. Oh, my God, how skinny I look. Right here, you know, little lean-in jumper. You got to stay in front of it. Yeah, you can't play behind it. And so Charles Fisher shoots it. You have to block that 30 out. You got to put a body on him. I'm coming over the back. This is against us, Mario Ellie right here, Jenny. This is Mario's team. And they threw that, and dude, Fish loses it, gets in my hand, and I had a struggle dunk right there. I don't know what was going on with my legs, but I was struggling. But this dude thought this was a layup.
Hey.
And I was like, yo, them were the days, man. My knee is sore right now, right after I did that. Oh, this is my basketball camp I did for about 20 years. And everything.
How tall were you back then?
Oh man, about 6'6". And so I did this basketball camp for my community because we didn't have them when I was growing up. And like I said, that was the second year, and we did it for about 20 years. And then I said, man, we had some amazing kids come through that camp. Then we started doing it all over America. We would just take it on the road, do it different places and stuff. Man, I still remember the names of them kids, and all of them, like, I've seen them grow up. That's my cousin Roy there, and Sam right there. He's got like 2 or 3 kids, man. He lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. All of these man, it's just crazy. That's his sister. I think her name was Lydia Branch. The last name was Branch. But yeah, just seeing these kids grow up, and yeah, man, good times. Good times. Good times.
I think we'll pause it there. Do you like those highlights?
Oh, man. Yeah. And in one way, I'm thinking about how long ago that was. But again, like I said, a life lived, man. Like I said, I want to, I always tell people, I said, listen, I live my life. I want to live my life that when I die, at my funeral, they're going to be people ranging from ages 8 years old all the way to 80 years old. And the reason why I want that to be that way, because when you see the 80-year-old person there, I was doing something right for a long time. And when you see the 8-year-old there, I was doing it to the very end. So, and like I always tell my wife, I said, when I was born in a room where everybody was smiling. I was the only one crying. But when I died, because I lived a full life. When I died in a room where everybody was crying. I was the only one smiling. Only one smiling. I'm thinking, what's next? What's next after this? But yeah, thank y'all. I know y'all supposed to say it first.
Stealing my line. Thank you. Anything you'd like to shout out, your socials or any programs?
Shout out Charity Bounce, shout out Twig Media, shout out Coach Jenny and her team and all the stuff. Man, every coach, Josie, everybody that's ever been involved with Charity Bounce, we could not be who we are without you guys. We ain't nothing without you guys. Everybody, every kid that ever walked through them doors and spent an hour or whatever, I want to shout out all of them. I probably could name a lot of them, but I know we got to get out. But y'all know who y'all are. Just know without y'all, there's no us. This organization exists because of you guys. And just thank everybody, my family, that put up with me, you guys that put up with me. I got stuff with me, but somehow y'all still, like Miss Bailey, y'all learn to look beyond my faults and see my needs, And one of my needs is I need y'all. Like I told you, y'all are my life. Y'all make my life. And so, yeah, I need y'all. So I appreciate you. And, just having me here on this show, y'all could have had anybody, probably some better people than me. But y'all let me come in and, that's what's up. I'm a Brooklyn boy. Yeah, that's it.
And we love it and we love you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. And I'm so proud of y'all. God know. Tyler, the creator. I'm so proud of y'all. Thank you so much.
Anything you want to say, Tyler, before we wrap up?
Just thanks for coming on and sharing some insight into your life and how you can apply it, how people that are watching, how we as the host can apply it to our life as well.
That's what's up, man. Just
Thank
know it.
you.
Look, hey, get started. You ain't got to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. You ain't got to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. So whatever y'all trying to do out there, get started. The clock is ticking.
I love that. Let's end on that. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you.
Yo, that was real right there. Dang, I cried and everything. I cried. You know how I did a little inside shower.